Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Just want to recap all the top headlines from September 27th, 2024, arguably the most Jesuit date of the year, which is important to know since the Jesuits gave us the calendar and pretty much run the world. Again, they are the Illuminati, that's why they founded it. But again, you got Diddy with two big headlines. His lawyer coming out saying that the 1,000 baby oils could have been a big story with all the dildos. They were part of a bulk order from Costco. We're going to look at that. Don't forget how important Costco was to the scandemic put on by the same Jesuits. And then again, we'll recap the Jane Doe coming out saying that Diddy drugged her, raped her, and impregnated her. We told you the day he got arrested there were going to be Diddy headlines on September 27th. It was undeniable since he's going down with the same ritual they did to R. Kelly. Again, R. Kelly was sentenced to prison 2 years ago on this date. Carl Anthony Towns gets sent from the Twin Cities to the land of the Twin Towers. Remember, his whole family died from the scandemic. If I remember right, 56 members of his family died from the 56 virus. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but Carl Anthony Towns goes from the Timberwolves to, again, New York, one day after the death of former NBA player Joe Wolf, and again on the day that Wolf's premieres on Apple TV. None of these things are an accident. It's because the same cabal controls all of these things. And again, another amazing prediction lands that no one will care about. So before the season began, look for Miami to start the year 5-0, synced up with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I told you guys when they burned up Maui last year, synced up with The Rock and his release of the trailer for the live-action Moana film, where the trailer began with an island bursting into flame. Remember how perfectly that synced, how perfectly synced that was with the burning up of Maui. Again, his character in Moana is Maui, the fire god. But I said, just wait until he turns 52. And I said, look for a major hurricane around the time they become 5-0 on this game on the big Jesuit date. And I also, did we not call the earthquake earlier this year, 96 days after The Rock's birthday? Because I know we did. There was a 5.2 that day, 96 days after The Rock's 52nd birthday on 5-2, which is important because he was in the movie San Andreas, which is about a 9.6 magnitude earthquake, when in Gematria, San Andreas equals 96. That's why we had that date circled, and it was a laughable 5.2. And again, it annoys me that all these trash channels have so much traffic right now covering these topics, and they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. All they're doing is repeating the same tabloid garbage while we're here predicting the future dead on in spades, helping people earn money and break out of the matrix. If it wasn't a society of dum-dums, we'd be the most popular channel on YouTube. Also going to talk more about 66 years ago to the day, a different hurricane, Helene, making landfall. And again, we'll go over all the important things about Hurricane Helene in case you need to get caught up, and a few of the other headlines we covered. But since none of my videos hardly get any views, might as well just be redundant. You know, I put out a video, and almost every time I put one out, I got somebody in the comments saying, hey, when are you going to cover this? And I'm like, I mean, it's in the videos tab right now. It's in the live tab right now. If you look. Anyway, Costco is apparently where Diddy got 1,000 bottles of baby oil. He was just buying in bulk. That's all there was to it. This is the story. But notice, Costco's got that Gematria 87, like Puff Daddy, like Freak Offs, like Justice. Like people think this is some kind of justice, when really it's just nothing. It's another tabloid distraction. And again, the whole ritual synced with the 87-year-old Pope, just like there's been 1,087 rituals in tribute to the Pope this year. And notice how Ignatius Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits in Gematria, equates to 75 when you run the alphabetic order forwards, and 87 when you run it in reverse, just like Costco. And remember, it's very interesting because the leader of the Jesuits right now, the Black Pope, Arturo Sosa, is 75 years old right now, and the first ever Jesuit Pope is 87. And remember, Diddy got arrested on 57th Street. Diddy born on the day, leaving 57 days left in the year. Diddy got arrested 57 days before Arturo Sosa's birthday. And there were numerous things about Diddy and the Pope, but from the Pope's last birthday, again, to Diddy getting arrested was 274 days later, when the Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, equates to 274. And again, their motto is inside of the sun in in their logo, the word sun equals 54, like how Diddy's going down in 54. And the Catholic Church has celebrated the sun's birthday on 12/25 since 274 AD. But yeah, Costco, outside of the Costco was founded just outside of Seattle in Kirkland, Washington, which is Big Techville, which is Jesuitville. And you know what else I noticed about this is the co-founder of Costco, again, two men founded Costco. The other one's still alive, but the one who died, look, it's his birthday today. They got to bring Costco into it on this very Jesuit day, on the anniversary of the birthday of the co-founder of the store, the one who's actually from the Seattle area, the other co-founder from Pittsburgh. And I saw he went to a Catholic high school. He might be affiliated with the Jesuits. Of course, the football team there, the Steelers, is run by the Rooney family, the only publicly Jesuit family that runs an NFL team. But it doesn't mean that more of them aren't Jesuits. Again, everyone playing for the Lombardi Trophy. And, of course, Vince Lombardi was a big-time Jesuit. Don't forget how he died unexpectedly at Jesuit Georgetown the day before the 1970 season began. And the Jesuits served the Vatican, and Vatican equals 70, and that's a whole other story. But anyway, I mean, this stuff's just a joke, you guys, that they just have to incorporate Costco by the numbers on this clear anniversary date. And Costco was the store to make everybody line up and make sure they had their slave muzzle on. And if you guys missed it at the time of the scandemic, I showed you how to shop at Costco without a slave muzzle. And that video should have got way more views than it deserved. I put those people in their place. And the last guy who tried to come up and approach me and tell me I need to put on a mask or leave the store, I pointed out to him that it looked like he had a pile of shit that had been flowing out of his mouth for the last month since he hadn't washed his mask. It had this big brown stain on it. I said, where's that hygienic? I said, when I signed up for the membership here, it didn't say anywhere that I had to be a pussy, scared of a 99.9% survivable virus, and wear a slave muzzle that doesn't do jack shit. And again, you know, the whole store approached me, and then by the time I just walked out of there with my groceries. But then what did happen is the next week I got a letter in the mail letting me know that my membership had been revoked. And I was like, fine, I don't even want to shop here and support this bullshit ass store. And that's what everybody would have done if they would have had a brain. But yeah, anyway, Costco, part of the cabal, and now you know they're definitely part of the cabal. Just the fact they even put out this story on the day that is the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church, September 27th, 1540. The anniversary of R. Kelly getting sent to prison at age 54. Jesuit order 54. Okay, and again, about the 54. Today we got a Jane Doe accusing him on September 27th. I mean, give me a break. Jane Doe 54, like Jesuit order, the day leaving 95 days left near the original mission of the Jesuits to counter the 95 Theses. Again, that's why they smoked Martin Luther King Jr. on the 95 Theses. That's why they smoked Martin Luther King Jr. on the 95th day of the year. Because again, he was named after Martin Luther, who wrote the 95 Theses and led the Protestant Reformation. But notice, pregnant 95. The story is that, according to some Jane Doe who's down in Florida, which is getting ransacked by the Jesuit storm. And see, that's funny. People be like, oh, you think the storm's Jesuit? I know it is, retard. Yeah, that's the difference. I know it is. The first act of weather warfare admitted to on the Jesuit order's birthday. That's how we made the perfect prediction before the college football season even began. Tired of these mouthy morons thinking they know something. You don't know shit, moron. That's why you're here arguing. Anyway, another correct prediction. Chalk it up, 1,000,001. And again, yeah, I mean, you think this stuff's an accident? The Timberwolf, a day after Joe Wolf's dead, on the day that Wolf's is debuting? I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. And yeah, do you not remember how this guy's whole family died from COVID? I mean, what are the odds? It's like, what's wrong with your family? They all go to the hospital and have their lungs burst with the breath machines. Pretty sure that was the real killer. That and all the experimental jabs. But yeah, go back and look. Carl Anthony Towns. So he was like, look at this. Carl Anthony Towns. Family deaths from COVID. I mean, what was the number? It was ridiculous. Okay, it was 8. 8, still ridiculous. Yeah. It's like when Gavin Newsom said, in 8 weeks, 56% of you will have coronavirus. Not realizing that 8 weeks is 56 days, going with the 56%, going with Gavin Newsom equaling 56, like coronavirus, like Society of Jesus.
Injection.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more to this. I did a lazy decode, but just all the wolf business. I mean, obviously something's up. Okay, and look at this, you guys. Again, before the season began, look for Miami to start 5-0. And the reason that number was key, again, is because San Francisco equals 50, and that's where they play their next game, which is the Rock's hometown when the Rock used to play football for the Miami Hurricanes. Again, the reason I thought there'd be a major hurricane around this time is because it is hurricane season. The Rock's 52 years old, born on 5-2, when hurricane equals 52, like flood, like the first act of weather warfare was admitted to August 15th, 1952. But look at this, you guys, it's undeniable. It's undeniable that I was dead on, because look, the storm formed on September 25th, Hurricane Helene formed September 25th, 146 days after the Rock's May 2nd birthday. Notice how the word hurricane has gematria of 146 and 52. Remember when Vice News made fun of me? Here. Vice News, Zachary K. Hubbard. This was a year after USA Today made fun of me. But what was I talking about then? Just want you to understand I was talking about the same numbers back then. That year in August, we called why the Astros beat the Dodgers in the World Series. It had everything to do with the Hurricane Harvey that hit Houston, and then Matt Harvey being the first pitcher to pitch in Houston 52 days before Game 1 of the World Series. But here, I want to go to where they make fun of what I said. So they quote me and they say, the reason that matters is because the word flood in gematria equals 52. Houston flooded on a date with 52 numerology on August 27th, which was the 239th day of the year, which is the 52nd prime number. It was 27 years to the day of the death of Stevie Ray Vaughan, who was remembered for the Allen, Texas flood. Think about it. So they make fun of that, right? So, here we are years later when I've called we've called so many hurricane rituals before they even happened. One year we circled every 52 day on the calendar in hurricane season, and every single day except for one of them, a hurricane made landfall. And again, the one day it didn't make landfall, a hurricane formed. But anyway, we said, they synced up the Maui fire with the Rock last year. It was in the weather warfare movie, San Andreas. So, I bet you anything, they got a hurricane synced up with him as a former Miami Hurricane. Here we are. 146 days after his 52nd birthday on 5-2, a hurricane formed. And the name of that hurricane, Hurricane Helene, equals 146. And again, look at what day it formed. The 25th of September, run the alphabetic order in reverse. Instead of it being 146, in reverse it's 259. Forwards with numerology is 83, like football's 83. It formed 83 days before the Pope's birthday. The word flood's 83. Again, Genesis 8:3 is where the biblical flood ends. And then the 79, well, that's interesting because it's the 22nd prime, like the number of men on a football field. Society of Jesus equals 79, the formal title of the Jesuits. Here we are on their very important day in history with the Miami Hurricanes becoming 5-0 before they travel to the Bay Area, which is arguably the most Jesuit city in all of America. Well, Washington, D.C. probably is. And then San Francisco is probably number 2. They got 2 Jesuit universities out of 27 remaining in the nation. Remember, at their height, they had 54 Jesuit universities in this nation. Now it's at 27. But yeah, again, the hurricane formed on the day, leaving 97 days left in the year. You see how hurricane's 97. You run it in reverse, it's 146, just like 146 days after the Rock's birthday. Hurricane's got the 52, of course, like the first act of weather warfare admitted to in 52. And here, look at all these 52s. Again, Enlil, the Babylonian god of flood earth, the 52-week calendar with the Pope. This flood synced with the Pope. But I was saying, the year that Astros won the World Series after Harvey, again, Matt Harvey, the first pitcher to pitch in Houston 52 days before the start of the World Series. The Astros won their first World Series that year in their 56th season. And I still have dum-dums in the comments be like, Well, it's probably easy to make everything line up when you're using 4 ciphers. It's like, God, like, how big of a fucking retard is out there writing this comment? Are you serious? When I'm showing for all these years, when I wrote a book in 2017 about this, about how it's the Jesuits behind all this, and now you got a hurricane. When we predicted this before the season began, and they named the hurricane that, I mean, it's just like, I can't comprehend how stupid people are. The hurricane forms on 25/9, 146 days after the Rock's birthday, 83 days before the Pope's. 79 is no slouch of a number. Remember when they declared the pandemic on the 79th day of Anthony Fauci being 79 years old? Jesuit educated at Holy Cross? The face of the scam? No, and I mean, I've been talking about this for a whole year. I've been reminding about this for a whole year, ever since Maui burned up, and we exposed that ritual. I said, just wait until the Rock's 52. Notice the death toll is a lot bigger than what they're normally reporting, and I'm sure they're underreporting what the real death toll is. And again, for all of you guys who don't understand why they do this, it's disaster capitalism. Your nation's not sovereign. It's controlled by the central bank, and none of those people are American. And every time something's destroyed, whether it's an actual war or weather warfare, the central bankers are there to give a loan, which they make a big profit on. This is a scam. This is an evil, evil scam. And the American people, all they know about is watching football games and drinking beers and going shopping and watching the next bullshit rock movie, which isn't even good. They don't know about anything else. Entertainment and consumption. It's a nation of dum-dums. That's why this channel's not that popular. It takes a few IQ points to understand what we're talking about over here. United States of amnesia. Nobody can remember what I said past last Monday. Talk about so many things, Zach. I can't keep it all straight. Hey, how many points were in tonight's game? Was it 72? Jesuit order equals 72, like we got the first Jesuit Pope on the 72nd day of the year, the Rock born in 72. I bet that's an accident, too, that there were 72 points in the game. 34 and 38. Aren't those murder numbers? Just like 83, like the name of the storm? People are dead from weather warfare. Wars legalize murder. And murder's also 79. A Hurricane Helene 79 and 83. 34-38 game. Dead bodies floating in the Atlantic right now. They're like, well, the hurricane still won. Yeah. You know, I mean, the thing is, what I remember though, True Seekers, when I was doing this in 2016 and nailing predictions, this channel was growing rapidly, views were getting massive. So I realized part of the reason it's not catching on at this point is because YouTube's destroyed us in the algorithm, but it's still a damn shame. It's a damn shame to watch. Just like I said, like this channel keeps showing on my feed, it's a gay guy named Sean, and all these covers for Sean Diddy comes, he's on there with his limp wrist, he's doing his fruity fingers. I mean, it's just like so many people are in there, and it's like, oh, Sean, you are the best! Just super chats galore. It's like, I can't even figure out what's going on here. People just like the gay fruity man, just doing the, you know, the little jitters and shakes. It's just like, fuck, like, that's what people support? Just a gay man getting on here, getting all fruity? We're doing the dopest research in the history of dope research, and it's like, you're like, oh, I donate $1 once this year. Gay man gets on this little gay shake. Man, money just shaking out of the tree. It's just, and again, I never got into this for money, but it's just like, we need resources to change the world, you know? My biggest troll, I guarantee you has the screen recording of my prediction from months ago, and he sits there and he screen records everything, and he must be because he's like, all right, I'm going to keep track of what he gets wrong. Oh, I guarantee you, had Miami lost today, he would have had a video out saying, oh, what happened to the 5-0? But he's not going to upload that we nailed 5-0 in the hurricane prediction. And he literally is DICKSUCKING FAG. That's not an exaggeration. I mean, that's what he is. He has the lispy voice and everything. You know? Instead of hating on me, try getting on there and put your face on the camera. You know? Put your face on there, do your little gay shakes. You might find something more lucrative for yourself than trolling me. You know? Yeah, just adults. Well, you use multiple ciphers, so you could probably make it all line up somehow with The Rock with 4 ciphers.
But who in their right mind made it so that we get paid twice a month? That makes no sense to me.
A friend told me about the Earn-In app, and I can get up to $100 a day within minutes of earning it.
With Earn-In, you can access your pay the same day that you work with no interest, no mandatory fees, and no credit check.
And any money I access is repaid once my paycheck comes through. It's payday every day.
Go check it out. Download it. It's called Earn-In, and it's changing the game. For real.
Oh my God. And you know, somebody left the comment, and I should have thought of myself. The biblical flood, this thing about a different hurricane, Helene, making landfall exactly 66 years ago. It's Genesis 6:6. Remember, it's Genesis 8:3 where the biblical flood ends. Like how hurricane or flood equals 83, like Earth, like Enlil. But it's Genesis 6:6 where God regrets making mankind and decides to wash them all away with the flood. So here we are with this big headline everywhere on this very Jesuit day, which the Catholic Church gave us the Bible as we know it, numbered and all. And that probably is the sick joke. And that might be the only Jesuit joke I resonate with. I totally know where God was coming from in that verse, looking at humanity today, just like what I'm ranting about. Some gay guy shaking his fruity fingers, and that gets mass support. 5,000 people are watching that, just throwing big bills at it. Like, what the fuck is he doing for anybody? He's getting on the camera being gay? I mean, come on. I've been here for 11 years straight, elevating the world for anyone who listened. All it took were some fruity fingers, little shoulder shake. Yeah, ladies, Sean Combs is going down. Yeah. Fuck out of here. Where's the flood? I'm ready for it. Pull out my surfboard. Yeah, and again, you guys, this hurricane formed. I mean, all year I've been lining up all the crazy weather shit they've done with September 25th, talking about this over and over for years. The day this hurricane formed was the 63rd anniversary of JFK's weather control speech for the United Nations. Conspiracy theories, no moron. The President of the United States talked about this to the United Nations, the future of weather control. Here, remind me how weather control and the Jesuit order overlaps. Here, remind me. Weather control, the Jesuit order. How much overlap is right there? Isn't that interesting? Remember the crazy flooding in Dubai, the worst flooding in 75 years, and it was 201 days before September 25th? We were talking about that at the start of the year. Now here we are. Here we are. Again, Lyndon Johnson says at Jesuit Holy Cross, where Anthony Fauci went to school, who controls the weather, controls the world, and he said it 201 days after JFK was assassinated. 83 days before the Pope's birthday. How it all comes together. Yeah. September 27th is the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church in 1540. August 15th, 1534 is when the Jesuit order was born. 201 months after Martin Luther penned the 95 Theses, like MLK getting smoked on the 95th day of the year in the nation's first gun control legislation 201 days later. It's like Sandy Hook was 201 months after Doon Blaine, which got gun rights taken away in the UK. Also the targeting of first graders. Gotta go with a big emotional story to get you to give up your rights and liberties. It's the same game over and over. And the dummies fall for it. But yeah, also with regards to football equaling 83, now they've synced this up with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Again, as week 4 kicked off last night, the headline changed that the storm kicked up to a Category 4 right as Week 4 kicks off. Here, I got it on Twitter. I captured the headlines on my Twitter page. Here, I posted about this last night. Oh yeah, by the way, YouTube told me this was my best thumbnail, the one with all the dildos in it. And by the way, September 27th is the day Jesuit-run Google celebrates their birthday. So happy birthday to the censorship kings, Google, who gives me the dildo recommendation. They're big with the LGBTQ agenda. Right here, last night, as NFL Week 4 kicks off, as Dak Prescott, number 4, wins his 13th straight game versus the Giants when Dallas and TNF equals 13. But yeah, Hurricane Helene explodes to Category 4 hours from landfall. And you guys realize how they play this game every time there's a hurricane, how they try to keep the audience sucked into the TV all day? I was mowing my lawn in the middle of the day yesterday at about, I forget, around noon. And I was listening to my earbuds to the news while I'm mowing, and they were saying then like landfall is just a couple hours away, and it's like 8 hours later, and they're like it's still a couple hours away. And they do this every time. It's just like they're just lying to you the whole time, trying to keep you sucked in, just get more ratings, watch more commercials. Everything is just ratings. And what they should have been reporting the whole time is that all this was on the anniversary of JFK's weather control speech, but nobody, out of the gazillion hours of cable news that are out there, nobody covered that. Where's the journalists at? Where's the questions at? But see, as long as they don't talk about it, the retards who think that's the real information, they're like, well, they're not talking about it because only the conspiracy theorists talk about stuff like that. It's like, no, only the retards are still watching TV and thinking that's real information. Only the retards. Yeah, I mean, look at those words up there, you guys. Enlil, again, is the Babylonian god of flooding. I mean, just look at it. And all this shit goes back to Babylon. 52-week calendar named after the Pope. First act of other warfare on the Jesuit order's birthday in 52, the Lynmouth flood, killed 30-some people. Death and hurricane, same thing. These numbers were involved in the death of the actor, Reuben the Hurricane Carter. And remember who they got to play him? The Jesuit Denzel Washington. And I've been telling you all about the Diddy thing and the parallels between Diddy and Denzel, who went to Fordham, Jesuit educated, and Diddy's tragedies happened on Denzel's birthday, and how their birthdays are 54 days apart, talking about this for a whole week, and then next thing you know, American Gangster's trending in the top 10, and Netflix had to have American Gangster with the whole Diddy thing. On the same day, it's in the headlines that they want to reopen the Diddy club shooting, which happened again on Denzel's birthday. One of the headlines was a woman wanted to testify that she saw Diddy shoot somebody in the face. That's the biggest scene in American Gangster. Denzel Washington walks up to Idris Elba and shoots him right in the face. And by the way, where did Idris Elba get famous? On The Wire on Jesuit. And if you've ever seen The Wire, remember the first episode? They put on the screen the date that the show supposedly is beginning. It says right on the screen, May 4th, 5-4. And remember who died on Idris Elba's birthday? Here, hold on, let me pull it up in case you forgot. Omar from that show, Michael K. Williams. And I remember when that show was brand new, they did Coolio and Michael K. Williams. Dirty. What I was going to say is I remember when The Wire was a newer show, it might have been, I don't know, second or third season, but Michael K. Williams did an interview, and I want to go back. I need to go back and research this, because I've actually never researched this, but I just remember when it happened. He was somewhere on the news. I can't remember what news show he was doing, but he was talking about his disappointment with what HBO did to him because his friend was murdered, and the day of his friend's funeral, was the day they were shooting for The Wire, and he told HBO that he wanted to go to his friend's funeral, and they said if he decided to go to the funeral, they were going to replace him on the show and write his character out of the show. So he decided not to go to the funeral because that was his biggest acting role to date. And he was talking about this openly on the news story and saying how disappointed he was in that, and sometimes he thinks he made the wrong decision to not go to his friend's funeral. And I bet if we go back and look, I bet his friend was murdered for him, whether he knew it or not, because we know that's how it is when you get in this world stage, especially with these Jesuits coming. And again, HBO was found by a Jesuit. We've talked about how many suspicious deaths have been connected to that network and how many 201 rituals. But yeah, he died on Idris Elba's birthday, who became the biggest star out of that show. And notice he was born in 72 as well. Idris Elba, 79, like Society of Jesus. Home box office, 72 and 54, like Jesuit Order. Remember, Diddy's dad killed in 72. Diddy goes down at 54. Sun equals 54. The sun moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. The Jesuit Order logo is the sun. HBO 56. But I have a whole bunch of posts on Michael K. Williams' death. It's just... Yeah, dead on 9/6, 96 days after the release of The Wire. Blamed it on heroin. He was 54 years old, Michael K. Williams. The first episode of The Wire begins on May 4th. Again, the show didn't begin on May 4th, but if you watch the show, they put the date up on the screen for the episode, like in the story, and they put right on the screen for first episode, May 4th, 5/4. I remember if I put a screenshot up. I know I talked about it when it happened, but it's just the same stuff over and over. It's the same stuff over and over from these Jesuits. And that's why it could be a lot worse for Diddy. I mean, he could be in the grave. Well, Stephen A. Smith came out last week and said he's going to end up in the grave like Jeffrey Epstein. Stephen A. Smith knows a thing or two about the ritual sacrifice industry because his mom, that happened to him. Go back, he's Mr. Basketball, and his mom's dead right as the NBA Finals was tipping off a handful of years back. All right, I covered this earlier, but again, just today leaves 95 days left in the year. Jesuit-controlled Israel supposedly has killed the leader of Hezbollah, whose name just happens to be Hassan Nasrallah, 95. The belief is they've killed him on the day, leaving 95 days left in the year. Maggie Smith, for the second year in a row, an actor from Harry Potter's dead on the Jesuit Order's birthday. You want to know who the real sorcerers are? It's the Jesuits, the ones who gave us the language in the calendar and gave us the word spell for magic and creating words. But yeah, this woman dead 274 days after her birthday, going with that Jesuit motto, we see from Salvatore, dead on the 271st day of the leap year, when Dame Maggie Smith is 271. And that's the 58th prime, like Pope Francis 58, who became a Jesuit in 1958. And again, there's just so many stories like this. Just the other day, he's dead in the headlines. The guy from Extreme Makeover. And again, conflicting reports of which day he died, but either way, the ritual is still true. He either died on September 19th or September 20th. If he died on September 19th, he died on the 214th day of his age. If he died on September 20th, he died 214 days after his birthday. His full name is 214. Just over and over in the world of celebrity. Death by the numbers. Again, the song Murder by Numbers about killing as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. The song Gematria, the killing name. It's on the same subject, the Agatha Christie story that was made into an Amazon series. The ABC murders, about the same thing. I mean, there's so many references in pop culture. Look at what day the picture's from, you guys. Look at what day the picture is from of these two guys. One's 59, the other's 58. Freemasonry equals 58 and 59 and backwards. Modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation. They got to give you a picture of these guys from the Jesuit Order's birthday as they report about his death. Huh. It's just blatant, you guys. What season's Carl Anthony Towns going to be in this year? Maybe his 8th season's the charm, huh? Maybe that's what the 8 people in this family are. Hold on, how many years has this dude been in the league? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, he's already been there. 9. This is going to be his 10th year. But yeah, I remember when that happened. Just how bizarre that was. 19's the 8th prime number. There must have been more to that. The 8. Yeah, but Vice News, man. I mean, how much longer do we have to wait for a follow-up article? Wacko YouTuber. No, more like the dead-on YouTuber. I mean, how many futures have we nailed since then in all sports? Getting close to 1 million more. Put some respect on the name. No, all these news sources are bankrupt. All they're really here to do is just brainwash everybody, keep everybody in their lane. And that lane is fucking retarded. Keeping everybody fucking retarded. Now look at this shit on the Jesuit Order's birthday. New explosions rock parts of Beirut. Have you guys read my last book, Number Games? The last thing I tucked in that book was the fireworks explosion on Barack's birthday in Beirut. And the last time we heard about an explosion in Beirut was the barracks bombing. And I remember it was a leap year. That year it was 2020, and it was 201 days from Michelle, or is it Big Mike? 201 days from Michelle's birthday. You say Michelle out of respect. But yeah, it was 201 days from her birthday when the bombs went off, or they set the fireworks. And remember, the Jesuits tried to blow up British Parliament with fireworks on remember the 5th of November, which is the election date this year. But yeah, you see how the Jesuit Order is 201 and 84. Barack's birthday is 84. It was 201 days from Michelle's birthday. They've been going to town on Beirut. We're going to have Outkast do the remix. Bombs over Beirut. Oh, man. Speaking of which, hold on. Let's go back, because there was a ritual with that, too. I've covered that in the past, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Bombs over Baghdad. Let me go back and see how they did that one. This was a headline. September 11th turned Outkast bombs over Baghdad into a war cry. We started bombing Baghdad. The length of that song is 5:04. Those numbers look familiar. Look at that. From the day the song came out, you guys, August 29, 2000 to September 11, 2001, the massive Jesuit ritual that was when 2 towers became 0 before they became 1, it was exactly 54 weeks. And remember, they eventually killed Osama bin Laden at age 54 on his 54th day of being 54 years old. Baghdad, Iraq, Jesuit Order. Did I not do the rest of the words that belong there? Somewhere else? Oh yeah, LaFace Records, who it's with, Society of Jesus. Arista Records, 201. 9/11 was 107 days after Andre 3000's birthday. It makes me sad. Rudy Giuliani was the 107th mayor of New York, and the attack came 107 days from his birthday. And then we invaded Afghanistan on 10/7, like military's 107. And big boy, it was 222 days from his birthday. It will order out of chaos, New York number. But yeah, I could have added more to this 54 thing too. Because it's terrorism. Terrorism is 54. To get Osama, here you can always look it up. Osama bin Laden. Remember, they couldn't get him in 2011. All the 11s on 9/11, the master's number. And then in 2011, they finally found him. Oh yeah, that's right. He got on 5/2 at age 54. His 54th name is Terrorist 52, right? Terrorism 54. You see how they did that? On 5/2, the Rock's birthday. After they were blowing the tops of the rocks off the mountains in Afghanistan, supposedly looking for this guy, open up the mountains so they could drill out all the materials to make our smartphones. Osama had the March 10th birthday, 10-3 in the majority of the world, like Pan Am 103 was the big terrorist thing, but there it is right there. 54th day, Osama's age. Born in 57, dead in 2011, age 54. I mean, we got so many examples of 54. It's endless. It's endless. They had Andre 3000 put out that Flute album, and they did something with that too. I already forget what it was. Andre 3000's playing the flute in the 2020s. First album in 17 years on November 17th. New Blue Sun.
Make this a summer to share in one of our capable SUVs. Visit your local Kia dealer.
Get 0.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of select new 2020 Mortgage and 2024 Sorento models.
Hey, there he is. You want your usual?
Yes. No. I can't keep letting you do this to yourself. You have this. And what exactly is this? This is the...
Put it out on 71 Dayton Brown in Fluke 71. This was shortly after the war had begun in Israel on Putin's 71st birthday, 71 days before the Popes. And again, you associate the flute with the Middle East. So much of their music, the flute is central. Maybe I didn't write it down. Maybe somebody had $1 million observation when I was talking about this. Somebody connected it to something major. I forget what it is now. It makes me sad how they use people like this. I like Andre 3000. In my opinion, Ron Kim, Andre 3000. They're probably the two best rappers of all time, in my opinion. Ron Kim's like the Michael Jordan of hip hop, but Andre 3000 always had the right message. Anyway, we got a late night super chat, huh? Leslie Margarita again. You already gave one today. But thank you again. Thank you again. Gotta work on my fruity fingers to get more super chats. They'll start playing the flute. There's a woman in the world who's putting out my first book in volumes, and she's selling them on Amazon. I gave her permission to. All the proceeds go to her. I don't even mind. At least the work's getting out there. My book wasn't selling anymore, so I said, yeah, why not? I said, do you want to put my book in print, put out volumes? The book's 800 pages long. That's why she's doing it in volumes. So it's not such a massive book where the spine splits in no time. Yeah, that bookstore named after that rainforest. Number games, I do get credit for those sales, but the letters and numbers, physical copies on there go to her. And that's fine, Support a working lady. Just helping get out the word. So, anyway. Well, thank you very much, Leslie. I appreciate that. Make sure you save up your slave wages, though. We all might need them for the rainy days that are coming. All right, True Seeker. We'll leave it there for now. And until next time. Oh, well, I gotta say thank you to one more person. One more person snuck in a super chat. Quantum Mania says that there might be a connection between Andre 3000 flute and Lizzo playing James Madison crystal flute. There might be. Yeah, I know somebody had $1 million observation at the time, but I apparently didn't write it down and I forgot what it was. All right, you guys, have a good rest of your evening, and until next time.